One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
What's up, Flockers?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're having a little fun on Twitch. Before we got started, you can always go check that out by going to, what is the Twitch link again, Rebecca?
It's Queen of the Flock 138.
Or you can go to the heretotchewbubblegum.com and check out Watch Me Now, or Watch Us Now. So, we were supposed to have a special guest today. We were going to have Adam Newsom. He's a local guy that started a podcast where he talks about wrestling and movies. He's also into aliens, cryptids, all that stuff. The name of his show is A Wild Time Podcast. He actually got called out to work about an hour before we started the show, so we will have him back on later. Yes, my voice is off, but it sounds better than what it did earlier.
Biscuits and mustard.
Biscuits and mustard. Exactly right, my friend. Something I didn't tell you about. Let me email these to you real quick, Rebecca, so you can put these up. I have an aunt who is 5 years younger than me, and her name is Jessica, and I love her to death. We always had these, just growing up, it was always kind of hard to listen to some of the stuff that she said, because she was kind of, bossy, I guess could be the correct word. But I do love her to death. I just emailed you the pictures, Rebecca. And I posted on my Facebook page. She had went to my grandfather's yesterday, which is her dad.
Is that the pictures you edited?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my God.
And she had went to my grandfather's yesterday, which, is her dad. And my grandfather's like 90. So my youngest, well, not my youngest, but one of my cousins turned 18 yesterday. So they were at my grandfather's for this big birthday event. Well, my Aunt Jessica takes a bunch of pictures. She uploads them to Facebook, but she also edits them. Now, if anybody knows these pictures right here, these are the people in this family paid for a photo shoot. Now, the lady that took these pictures, and I'm pretty sure it was a female, said that they didn't have enough light. So if you can see that, their faces are kind of like drawn on. So, and I saw these like 4 or 5 years ago, and I laughed hysterically over these. Now, can you pull up the second set of pictures that these are the ones that my aunt posted. Let's see. No, that's the same ones. These are the ones that my aunt posted. This is my aunt in the pink, Jessica, and she's with my cousins. She done the exact same thing. So I commented on her post that I loved her to death, but when I looked at those pictures, it made me think of these pictures. And I put in the ones that you saw first, and then I did a Facebook post. And then she took all the pictures down. And so I messaged her later. I'm like, hey, I hope I didn't offend you. I was joking around with you. She's like, no, it's fine. I thought it was funny. But, Jessica, if you're listening, I do love you. Practice your Photoshop skills. Why she did that, I have no idea, because she was really the only person that, I mean, her had looked drawn on, but, fun with family.
Fun with family.
Yes.
Goose needs a shot of tequila to cure the throat. What is it? Tequila, honey, and what's the other thing that you're supposed to put in it? Is it orange? Yes, it is. I actually did take some home remedies last night. That's why I am able to actually speak. Definitely, the smooth face is the creepiest thing ever. I mean, when I saw those, I laughed my ass off. And I'm going to have to call and get my aunt on the show sometime. Because, like I said, she's 5 years younger than me, so she's in her early 40s. So, you guys want to do that now? Do you want to try to get her on now?
Yes.
Okay. Give
What are we doing?
Give me 1 second. I'm
calling his younger Aunt Jessica. Right now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get her on. Let me connect everything here. Now, she may possibly hang up with me. She may not answer. So this will definitely be fun, though. So let's give her a call here. Here we go. Well, here we go. Well, give me 1 second. Having problems back here. Let me try this other thing really quick. I used to be able just to plug and play this, and for some reason the equipment back here, I need to go through again. Here we go. Well, let's try it. She may be listening or watching the show right now. So, all right, let's try it one more time. And I know that is her number. Let me write her number down here really quick, and I'll try to call it again. So, do you guys have any family members like that? Does anyone watching on Twitch have any family members like that?
I mean, I'm lucky that my mom knows how to work her damn phone.
Well, now I can say the same exact thing.
You have to have an iPhone lesson every time your mom's here.
Yep.
Here, let me show you this, Heidi.
Okay, busy again. Let me try.
Not busy. She done blocked you.
Probably. Let me try her better.
MS is that family member.
Well, evidently it's not going through. But yeah, so if anybody's on my, personal Facebook, be sure to check those out. You'll get a chuckle. If you're not, hey, just
it's worth getting on Facebook just to see it.
Just shoot me a friend's request. We will get you hooked up. I try one more time before I call it quits, and I don't know why. That was her husband. This is her. Who knows? Okay. But moving on, I want to let everyone know to be sure to check out Luke Fugit, his YouTube page. He put up a video the other day, Friday, where he has been experimenting on burning plastic, and that makes gasoline. It makes fuel. He now has a the biggest example of it that he has made so far. Be sure to check that out. You can go to YouTube and just search Luke Fugit, or you can go to the teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov and click on Luke's Corner. It will take you directly to his YouTube page.
And it's Fugate.
Yes, that is correct. Dirty Dan, do you want to start out with some email this week?
Sure.
Do you want me to read your emails for you? Save your voice?
Thank you very much. Yes, I would love that.
Go ahead, Dirty Dan.
All right, so we got Dixon09 writing in, says, "Hey Goose, Dirty Dan, and Rebecca. I hope this email finds you well. I want you to know that my family and I are praying for your state and all of those affected by the floods. I'm so excited to hear Goose's mom as a guest coming up on the show. Will you please ask her what was the funniest thing he ever did or said when he was young? Keep the ear candy coming and pay it forward. Love here to chew Bubblegum's biggest fan, Roswell, my peeps. Dixon, don't you worry. I have a slew of questions I need to ask Mama Goose.
No, you are going to field me those so I can screen them, correct?
Nope.
Okay, thanks, asshole.
Why would we? Whoa, hold on a second. You don't like run shit past us. You just like come out with stuff all the time. You're like, oh, I wasn't going to tell you guys, but here you go. And just, no.
Fair enough. And I never say I wasn't going to tell you guys. I don't think I've ever said that before. Have I ever said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, I was going to tell you, but I'll just tell you now. That's the other one.
Okay. All right.
You were never going to tell us later. You planned on telling us now.
Well,
on the live. Just spur of the moment.
My mom will have a lot of stories. I will share one with you real quick. And so last week after the show, I go to help her clean up around her house. They had some debris caught in their chain link fence. So I had to get on the other side of the fence. Well, without walking the country mile and circling it and coming back around, I thought I'm going to jump over this country fence. Now, keep in mind, my stepfather is a little bit older than my mom, and he has dementia right now. He's starting to get dementia. So me and my mom and him, his name's Jack, we were there, and my mom's like, I'll go get some garbage bags. I'll be right back. So I'm like, Jack, if you don't care, just scoot back a little bit so I can, put my hand on and just leap over the fence, because it was just a little bit more than waist high. Now, Jack's a good guy. I mean, his memory comes and goes. So as I'm trying to leap over the fence, he grabs my right ankle as I'm up in the air, and he pushes me onto the straight bar that's holding up the chain link fence. I fall on top of it. I crush it. It breaks in two. And he is laughing hysterically. So for just a few seconds, I was thinking, you stupid, I was like, I went to like 1,000% mad. And I look at him and I see him laughing. And he says something after that, and I can't remember exactly what it was, that kids, when he was young, would say something like, and it may have been, ollie, ollie, oxen free, you fell down, you can't blame me, or something like that. So he had a flashback as I was jumping over this fence, and he thought it was the funniest thing ever that he grabbed my ankle and I fell on the fence. Now, when my mom came back out, I did not tell her what he had done. I just let her believe that I'd fell on the fence. But he got a really good laugh out of that. So I think I made his day by doing that. And then at one point, he asked me what I was doing, and I told him I was getting the debris and stuff off the fence. And his exact words were, we don't give a shit about that. Just let it go. Quit doing that. So,
So he essentially tried to give you a leg up over the fence, and you got catapulted on top of it.
Well,
no, I think that old man just lived his best day in a long time at Goose's expense.
Now, it is funny when I think back about it now, but at the time I was like pissed off, and but my hat's off to him. I hope that he had a good laugh and a good memory, and God bless him. So
that's funny. I wish somebody had recorded that.
That's the same thing my mom said, but she thought that I'd fell on it. So, well, I mean, I had fell
either
on
way,
it, but
either way, you should have filmed it.
Definitely. And thank you very much. That's the sweetest old man story. Thank you. And he definitely laughed a lot over it. So, Rebecca, I'll let you take the next two emails.
Yeah, well, we're gonna switch gears completely on the next email. So,
I just got this picture of this happening in my head still, and it's fantastic.
Last name Sloan, Hillary Clinton. Do you think she's a reptilian or human? Explain your choice. You want me to go first?
Sure. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. How do I say this and not get fucking banned? She disgusts me to a soul core level, that woman. I don't think that she's human. I don't think she has a soul. I don't think that she is of this planet. That's all I'm going to say on that. Explain why. The eyes and the way that she speaks and that fucking smile.
I am going to say a mixture of a reptilian and human. Because like you said, there's something about her eyes, and I think she's evil. You know, she's done a lot of stuff that's evil. Not, getting into all that. This goes along with how evil she is. Start in, I think it was 1994 with the whole Blackwater stuff. Look at how many friends or family or people they know that have killed themselves under mysterious circumstances. You're not going to have that over and over and over and over. Dirty Dan?
I emailed Rebecca a picture. I need her to screen share. Because
please hold. Please hold.
At the end of the day, I don't really care about Hillary.
Why?
But this man right here.
Oh, Dirty Dan.
Okay. So.
Hold on.
This is going to be a good one. I knew.
It's a picture of.
I knew that was the picture you were going that you screenshot to her.
Explain it, Dirty Dan. Go ahead.
Well, while Hillary's off becoming a reptile nasty thing, Bill's left jogging in his short shorts around McDonald's and Fallen in New York City, and he did not have sexual relations with that girl.
Yes.
She just had it with him.
When I first saw that meme earlier in the week, I laughed my ass off over that. Laughed it off big time. Let's see. 59 unexplained deaths. Someone posted there. Is that the accurate number of unexplained deaths? Did you, Rebecca or Dirty Dan, know that?
I know it's up in the 40s or the 50s. I don't know the exact number.
I know it was double digits, high double digits. I didn't know it was that many. I mean, I know that someone who's supposed to be their best friend, who was an ex-CIA director, was number 50. So really, okay, okay, wow, that's damn, that is a lot of people.
It's white water, not black water.
Okay, yeah, Blackwater was the name of the song. I knew it had water in it.
Oh, Blackwater, keep on rolling.
Yeah, that was the song. White water. Yes, that was it. And that was 94, correct? Wasn't it?
It says over 50.
Wow. Over 50. Could you imagine? Who the hell would want to be friends with him after it happened like a third time?
Because people get so wrapped up in greed and in loosh and in wealth and this false ideal that they even have power over anybody, right? This whole corrupt bloodline bullshit going all the way back to before fucking time, right?
Right.
And they literally sell their fucking souls, right? And get associated with all of these people because they're promised all of these things, and they get all twisted up and manipulated by it. And that's why, that's how they're very persuasive.
That makes sense. I can understand.
They're
that.
friends because they need to be friends with them. They're not friends with them. They're not friends with them because they want to be friends with them. They're friends with them because there's ill intent behind it. There's a reason. There's a drive for that.
Well, all right. Let me ask you this. Are you talking about let's see.
So many people that were set to testify and decided to shoot themselves twice in the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let me ask you this, and this goes along with what you're saying. There's an old expression that I've heard that says birds of a feather flock together. You would have to be a little bit evil yourself to want to be friends with them and so forth. Do you think that's correct on that?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It all runs off blackmail and power. Exactly. You want to take the last email, Rebecca, and then we'll.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Hold on, I got to get back to it because Grace. So this one is from Zen. It's been a while since my last email. Can you help me find a possible answer to some strange experiences that I've had the last few nights? I'm missing time. I've been waking up with a bloody nose. This happened 2 mornings in a row. I woke up this morning with my right eye injured. I felt like someone stuck a needle into my eye. Could this be a sign of being abducted? Roswell.
Yes, that could be a sign of being
abducted. So let's hold on a second. Disclaimer, we are not professionals. We're not doctors. No. We are not any of this. I mean, if you've ruled out like all other possibilities, I would get some cameras. Like I'd be posting up a camera to record it and I'll see what happens.
Unless you're, with or married to someone like I am to Rebecca and she beats the ever living shit out of you in her sleep.
Semantics, Dirtydan. Sometimes you try and attack me, okay?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
there's something attacking me and you just happen to be in the way.
That's more accurate.
There's a good comment. Yes, and so many more things. Could be a home invasion from a neighbor or landlord.
Could be. Maybe.
Or, you could have got
cameras.
You could have got a Red Ryder BB gun and shot your eye out in your sleep.
As far as the losing time, oh my God, really? That just clicked in my head.
Yeah, Zen, I am just joking. Again, we are not medical professionals, but it's very possible that you could be. I would set up cameras. I would, let's see, get on and do some research about UFO sightings in your area. See if there are any. If they are, that kind of leans towards that way. If not, then it could be something else. So
as far as the losing time thing, though, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I know that me personally, a large part of the flock, I know Alan did like a whole CERN video on that.
That's chaotic 603 for anyone who wants to look.
Yeah, 3-3. By the way,
3-3.
They took everything. They took his whole main account, they took his backup, it's gone. So it's 6033, and then they're everybody's getting banned right now. It's fucking nuts. But the losing time thing, since the CERN with ascension and the fact that as you start to break away from the matrix and you start on this, getting deeper on this journey, and you realize that time is completely man-made and completely controllable, right? Because time flies when you're having fun, right? The density of time is controlled by our thoughts. So knowing that, we're now able to manipulate time. Time is either moving faster or slower, significantly, noticeably moving differently. And it changes, it fluctuates, it goes through these ebbs and flows. But I've lost full fucking days. I've lost hours. It's a thing. Time, I struggle with time.
Now, briefly, before we close out this email segment, and this goes along with some TikTok and some of the comments coming in there. and I don't know a lot about this, just what I've saw. I've not done any actual research or reading. Anne Heche, what do you guys think about what happened to her and what project she was working on that's still going to be put out, I think, in mid-September?
She's starting to expose it and speak out against it and say things that she's not supposed to say, and awful coincidental that she was in a hurry. Who was telling me this? Was it you that was telling me this, Dirtydan?
She was married before she was with Ellen, and she remained friends with her ex-husband, and he had expressed his concern about the treatment in parentheses that doctors were giving her. And they were basically pumping her full of narcotics.
Okay.
And she was refusing it. And if you look in the toxicology reports, everybody says, oh, she was either drunk or under the influence. And then one of them said, well, based on a report from a close family member, we'll have to look into any prescribed medications. Because the alcohol screening came back clean.
Okay.
She was pumped full of fucking narcotics. Pumped full of them.
Now
and they're not going to release that for weeks.
Now the project that she was working on as well, it was about child trafficking, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe it was child and human trafficking.
Okay. You know, you had what's his Isaac Cappy is that his name?
I just think like her death is very similar to, we were talking about this on the live the other night. No, who was talking about it on the live the other night? It was on the ship. Alan and Ship were talking about her death is very similar to Princess Diana's.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar.
I had never made that connection, but you know, from what I've saw about
that's
it
immediately
and
what
what I know
with
about Princess Diana, that's absolutely 110% correct. That's a great comment there.
And yeah, like Alan said too, that was the thing I was immediately going with was MJ. Like he was painted in such a bad fucking light, and yet every firsthand account that has ever been leaked out long enough to be heard, he wasn't hurting the kids. He was fucking saving them. And look, pumped full of fucking drugs again and killed.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and there's some people that still say he's alive, you know, and we've touched on that on the show. I think it's been a while, but you can, you know, search Michael Jackson Lives. There's a corner video. It's not the best quality, but it does kind of looks like to me he hops, or someone like him, but there were so many people that impersonated him. It could have been anybody that hops out the back of the van when it arrives at the LA County Coroner's office and walks inside. Some people say that's him. Some people say that a picture his daughter posted on, I think, Instagram earlier in the year, you could see him not on purpose, but in the background. You know, I don't know, you know. I do love conspiracy theories like that, and I do like to think that if you're painted in a bad light and you realize, let's say for 1 second that Michael Jackson realized something was about to happen to him, so he set up something to fake his own death, or anybody else, I would like to think that works out for them.
He still gets enough streams and royalties every year from he still makes, his estate still makes tens of millions of dollars a year.
Yeah. So
it's not like, you know, it wouldn't work out for him.
Now, I have not heard about that. Kimmy Cakes 88 says, have you heard about Ashton Kutcher has a rare disease that made him temporarily blind? Maybe he was given something. He was also against child trafficking too. It's very possible because regardless of what you've heard, know, or think, there is, and it was used by our government, there is such an invention known as the heart attack gun. Some people claim that it does not exist, that it didn't exist, that it was just made up legend. From the research I've done, it does exist, and our government has used it before. And that's another good comment, under that. Do you want to read that one, Dirty Dan? That last
The people that do documentaries about Hollywood trafficking seem to disappear on camera as an accident, like the one Baldwin assassinated. Listen, all I'm going to say is Alec Baldwin would have been a hell of a cowboy because he is like 3 for 3 on the quick draw.
Oh, wah, 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 wah. No, that was actually pretty good. I want to thank everyone for emailing. Don't forget, you can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. 373-3396. Dirty Dan, how can they email?
Well, they can email Goose at heretechewbubblegum.com, Dirtydan at heretechewbubblegum.com, and Flockingqueen at gmail.com.
Yes, because I have been locked out and deleted apparently from the Here at Your Bubblegum email.
I will get you back in there. I've just not had time this week. I apologize.
No. We don't need to worry about it. I fight with Microsoft Office more than you know, so I'm good with the Flockingqueen Gmail.
Okay, that works for me too. Real quick, I want your guys' opinion, and I want you guys watching on Twitch right now. Today's episode is episode 93. Is there anything that you would like to see or not see 7 episodes from now? Episode 100. Because that's kind of historic when you have 100 episodes. Rebecca, I'll let you go first.
I think the 100th episode... I think the 100th episode should be all of us together. Like doing like a live somewhere. Like, I don't know if
I am all for that. I
think that it should be like all of us together, like in a room on a live doing a special somewhere. And I don't know what that looks like. That would take some scheduling and some planning, but it's possible.
That's very possible. It's very possible. What about you, Dirty Dan?
I mean, that actually sounds like a really fun and cool idea. I'm not even going to try and offer anything else because
I think it looks like Rebecca and Dirty Dan taking a night in Pikeville, and
or I can come down there. Else. Let me see. Let me just go look ahead here really quick. 1, 2. Looks like our 100th episode will be on October 2nd, so we can definitely make that happen. So with Mama Flocker and Mama Goose. Hey, I'm sure now if my mom can get away, I would definitely have her there. I don't know if she could get away because, as I talked about earlier with my stepfather, she does have her hands full with him. But definitely, we for sure, as of right now, will get together somewhere. And I will come to you guys because I know it makes it easier on you. We will get somewhere. Maybe.
I was more like Mama Flocker can watch the child and Dirty Dan and I can like escape for a day.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
We can do that as well. Now let me ask you a question. Where this is 100th episode, would we want to, if you guys want to come up here, that's totally fine. Or if you want to do down there or meet in the middle, that's fine. But we could get a place, like we could rent a conference room at a hotel or something. We could, even people that lives local, if they want to come and sit in the audience, we could have a small live audience if you want to do that as well. For our 100th episode. Let's
put some thought into this and we'll get some feedback and I got it marked down.
But I can tell you love that idea. You love that idea. Did you not?
I know my wheel. Do you see the smoke? My wheels are turning.
Yes. Yes, I did. So, and it seems like some of our viewers here this morning love the idea too of a live audience. So we can definitely do that. So we can definitely do that. You guys want to take a break for just a little bit, and we'll come back in segment 1 and talk about something really fascinating that I've researched for a few months, but I would like to get your guys' opinion on it as well as all the viewers on Twitch. Breakfast with Goose and the Flock. There you go. I'll drive for it. Definitely. You have to be there. So with Chef Dirtydan, maybe you can make us all breakfast.
Biscuits and mustard for everybody.
Ew. Yeah, let's take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back.
Okay. And if you're listening to the podcast show, you're going to hear just some commercials and music. We'll come back in segment 1. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be back in like 10 minutes. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Wake up in the morning and I raise my weary head. Got an old coat for a pillow in the earth was last night's bed. I don't know where I'm going, only God knows where I've been. I'm a devil on the run, a six-gun lover, a candle in the wind. Yeah!
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into Deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Deadpit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make Deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
Be sure to check out heretotowbubblegum.com.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
On Thursday, July 28th, 2022, a lot of families in southeastern Kentucky woke up to flood, devastation, and despair. Hello, everyone. I'm Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum, and I'm proud to say that I'm from Eastern Kentucky. Our area has experienced some of the worst flooding that we have ever saw. In just 2 hours, 8 to 12 inches of rain fell, leaving many families homeless. They lost their homes, property, family heirlooms, and quite a few have lost their lives. You can help and support people in Eastern Kentucky get back on their feet. All you have to do is go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. Again, you can go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. You can make a donation. If you live locally, please get in touch with someone in your community to find out how you can help. Thank you very much. God bless.
It's been a while since I could first saw you. It's been a while since I could stand on my own 2 feet again. It's been a while.
Hey, this is Shipwreck with the Shipwreck Show, and you are here with Here to Chew Bubblegum.
And welcome back.
We're here. Dirtydan's going to be joining us in a minute.
Yes, he is. Do you want me to wait on Dirtydan before we talk about this next thing, or just go ahead and go with it?
Just go ahead. He'll jump in.
Okay. Have you, Rebecca, heard of the United States Antarctic Program?
Is this different from the Antarctic Treaty?
Yes. The Antarctic Program was founded in 1959, 2 years before the Antarctic Treaty. And
okay, refresh my memory because I don't. Okay. I remember looking it up. I can't remember the details.
Well, it's still going on today. They have an annual budget of $356 million, give or take. Sometimes it may be more, sometimes it may be less. It manages all of the United States scientific research that is related to logistics in Antarctica, as well as aboard ships in the Southern Ocean. It's headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia, and it has around 3,000 seasonal employees. So my number one question, the first one, this was founded in 1959, 2 years before the Antarctic Treaty, and the United States government is pumping in $356 million. If something is not going on there, why are we giving it that much money?
And yes, why are we giving it so much money? What are we doing? What are we doing there? Like, is the research is it for research? What are we researching?
Well, from what I have been able to gather, and I've not been able to find out any kind of modern day technology that we use or the government uses that have came from there. It does exist, the technology, but that's not been available for me or other people to find out. So they are creating technology there. I don't have a quote. There is a quote that Nixon talked about the reason that, and he put some agendas and sanctions in order in the early 70s. I don't have that in front of me. But to paraphrase that, it was basically like, where all the countries of the world are using Antarctica for peace, for, bettering the civilization, bettering the world, yada, 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 all that good stuff. Now, if all the countries of the world have different stations there, or can have different stations there, if you're in the Antarctic Treaty, why is the United States government kind of controlling the shots there?
I also want to know, why are we like one of the controlling, why were we there 2 years before? Okay. Why is there so much money going into this? If they're really going into the betterment of of humans and the planet and living, why are we not like fully making sure that everybody's good before we fucking spend all of this extra money on stuff that doesn't really in the long run matter? Honestly, right? Whether we know about it or we don't know about it, it's still gonna happen. Gaia's gonna do what Gaia's gonna do, right? Like, as far as like if we're really researching like ice cores and exploration and shit like that. And my other thing is, if we can all agree on peace and unity and no conflict on Antarctica, why are we not doing that everywhere? Like, why is it so hard to do that everywhere? I don't understand. My other question is the fifth ocean, really the Southern Ocean? Since when are there 5 oceans? There's never been 5 oceans.
I thought the exact same thing about the ocean.
And my other question is, are they building technology or are they reverse engineering technology that they've discovered underneath the ice, because that's actually the entrance to inner Earth, which then goes back to, remember, we've talked about this on an episode before too,
yes,
when they sent the weather balloon up to test the radiation or the heat waves or whatever the fuck from the sun, and it was actually coming from underneath the ice. Now,
if you read some of their explanations why they're there, they basically say that it had something to do with the electromagnetic field. That's a good place to have stations at and research labs. One of the things that, and it doesn't officially say that it came from the Antarctic program, but one of the things was missiles from a ship, like long-range missiles from a ship, which were invented by the Nazis. And there have been tests and improvements that have came from the Antarctic program. It's what I think. Now, there's no official explanation saying that they do, but it's fascinating because in 2012 or 13, Lockheed Martin got a big contract to head the stuff in Antarctica and kind of guide the Antarctic program. Now, that contract that they got awarded back then was an 8-year program. And I'm thinking it was 2012, so that would have ended 2 years ago. You can't find anything else about Lockheed Martin being there in 2022. But if you do some other reading on and take notes and compare what one news article says to a second one, I still kind of think that Lockheed Martin is there. It's just not publicly known that they're there. Now, this is interesting. Some of our branches of government and organizations that have bases at Antarctica, the Department of Defense, why would they need a base there?
Because it's the entrance to inner Earth.
Exactly. Okay. NASA, why would they need a base there?
Because it's also the ocean, and that's where space is, the ocean. I don't think space is what they tell us.
Now,
but okay, go on.
And the last one that I jotted down, and there's several more, government organizations that have bases there, but the last one that I jotted down was came into place in 2001, and the Department of Homeland Security has a base in Antarctica. Did you know that prior to me telling you that? I did not know that prior.
I feel like it's probably been it rings the bell. Like, I feel like I know that I've done extensive research on it. We've done several episodes on Antarctica.
Yes, we
have.
I
feel like, because I looked up like all of the countries that were all in the Antarctica Treaty. I remember looking up the 1959. Like, it's starting to recall. So yeah, like, Homeland Security, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? Can we just...
I mean, if it's an international space where you've got several different countries.
Right.
Why would you need anyone to patrol or make sure that it is secure? Now, there's some countries that aren't a member of the Antarctic Treaty. But why would the United States Department of Homeland Security have a base there? What could they possibly be doing that would be scientific beneficial to the people of the United States?
I guess I just immediately go to whatever comes out of the inner Earth entrance.
Something big is going on there. And I mean, I've talked to people who share our same views. I've talked to people who don't share our same views. But you cannot argue if the Department of Homeland Security is there, the control of distract. Yes, if the Department of Homeland Security has a base there, why? Why would they have a base there? And we're talking about Antarctica, Dirty Dan, the Antarctic program, the Department of Defense, NASA, and the Department of Homeland Security all have bases there with the Antarctic program. Now, the Antarctic program, some people today don't call it the Antarctic program. It is known as the National Science Foundation, but it's the same thing. Now, the National Science Foundation has presidential mandates that manage the United States Antarctic program. And they say that, every 3 years is when they switch stuff around and do different things and so forth. Yeah, you actually, I guess we talked about that at the same time. Shit mess. But, I mean, the Department of Homeland Security, Dirty Dan, you know what their main responsibility is. Why would they have a base at Antarctica and be part of the Antarctic program?
Because they have the same responsibility at the entrance to Inner Earth.
That is what Rebecca and a lot of our viewers said as well.
He wasn't even here for that part of the conversation.
So, but had you heard about the the United States Antarctic program, Dirty Dan?
Did that come before or after that treaty?
Before.
It was. Yeah, it was 2 years before. 2 years before.
Isn't this Lockheed Martin has something to do with this too, don't they?
Yep.
Oh yes, we went over that as well. They actually got a contract there. I'm pretty sure it was 2012 for 8 years to spearhead and take care of everything. Now, their 8-year contract.
Spearheading.
What's that?
What are they spearheading?
I don't know. But, you can't find anything as far as technology being developed. Now, I did say that what I believe is that there were long-range missiles that you can set off from ships from the Navy that they have tested there, modified, whatever. Those were first invented by the Nazis. But I think that they did do that. Now, I also think, like Rebecca said moments ago, there could be some reverse engineering going on there as well.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think anything like that, like any Nazi technology, not like that is 90% of that was either reverse engineered or they were getting messages and blueprints and information from extraterrestrials.
Right. I totally agree with you and think that you're right there. That's a good one.
So this is what she found researching. Serves as a clearinghouse and source information regarding Antarctic records, files, documents, and maps maintained with agencies and non-governmental organizations.
Now, that's very interesting because when you get into maps, you can cross-reference the Nazi establishment there in maps, and you can do a little diving down a rabbit hole. And our government claims that a lot of the Nazi stuff in regards to Antarctica was destroyed or misplaced. How could you misplace documents like that?
Probably with Hillary's emails and the directions to the moon.
There you go. The lost technology. And we'll probably talk about this again. If any of our listeners or viewers, if you have any information or done any research on the Antarctic program, please feel free to share that with us. Because like I said, we will talk about this again. This is just something that I wanted to bring up. And I know the format that I sent you guys, I had the news in there. I'm probably not going to do the news this week just due to my voice. But I want to talk really quick. Maybe not really quick. We may spend a little time on it. A definition of trauma. Hopefully, my voice, everybody can understand what I'm saying. Before we do that, can you click on and read Chaotic's comment there?
Yeah, this is why I think that they're freaking out about climate change. Their frozen hidden secrets are getting exposed and they can't stop it. I completely agree.
Same here. And
You're muted, Dirtydan. You're muted.
I have to go run interference because the dogs are destroying Tiny Psycho toys. So I'm going to hop off.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.
All right. See you, buddy. Trauma is, the definition is an emotional response to a terrible event like an accident, rape, or natural disaster. Immediately after the event, shock and denial. That's typical. And longer term effects include unpredictability, emotions, flashbacks, strained relationships, physical symptoms like nausea and headaches. There's 3 types of trauma: acute, chronic, or complex. Rebecca, my question to you: if somebody come up to you and they had trauma, let's say from the flood, because I saw earlier in the week we had a really bad rainstorm back here, and there was a few pictures of people that I know really well whose kids, small children, 7 to 4 years old, were crying because it was raining. What would you recommend to somebody to get over trauma?
That's a very loaded question.
Well,
So trauma, here's what I've learned. Here's what I've experienced, and here's the advice that I'll give. So, and I just made a video on this too. Trauma is different for everyone, right? And the severity of the trauma can only be determined by that person. And I feel like in today's society with social media and all of these fucking events that are happening, everybody's in this trauma competition with each other. Like, oh my, I went through something worse than you did. So first of all, let's remove that out of it. Like, we need to stop comparing traumas, because no one gets to claim that but you. As far as dealing with the trauma, that's what shadow work is. That's what going in and actually doing the work and sitting with those emotions and sitting with those feelings and sitting with those thoughts. That's what that is. So everybody has trauma to some degree, and on across multiple levels. Everybody has some sort of trauma. As far as with the floods and little kids dealing with this, I'm a big, and we were actually just talking about this on the movie that we watched for Flocker Flicks, like with like world events like this and catastrophes that happen. Like, can we first of all, stop lying to children? Like, be fucking honest with them. Like, oh, it's just a little rain. No, it's going to rain really bad. There's going to be a lot of rain and things are going to get wet and there's going to be water in the house, right? We need to pack up all of our stuff. We need to get out of here. Like, I feel like from the jump, we're lying to these kids about, trying to keep them calm. They know that we're lying to them. They see the anxiety, they feel the energy, right? So let's stop doing that as well and just be honest with them, because again, and you and I are the same way. I'd rather have a harsh truth than an easy lie. And I get that they're kids, but
okay, you froze up there, but
am I back?
Yes, you're back.
My whole screen just freaked out.
Okay.
What was the last? Did it skip at all?
You were talking about little kids, and you said, just be honest.
Okay, it didn't miss much then. So, and then as far as them, so your question was like, they're crying now because it's raining again?
Yeah.
And I think that would be an opportunity to, maybe, look into the weather with them, show them how the weather, show them how like a weather app works, or like, it's only going to rain a little bit. Like it's not going to flood again like it did. We already had that really bad rain. Be honest with the information that teach them how to do something, make something, go collect rainwater, make it into something to try and give that experience a positive one too. Because with trauma is you holding on to that event, and then everything that happens with that event is going to immediately bring you back to that energetic space, right? It's going to hit that stored energy. So it's about allowing that to flow through. Feel the emotions, be in that moment, but don't cling on to it, because in clinging on to it or in storing it down and packing it in, that's where you get those blockages. And we're reading about this now with the power of now. We're reading about this. It talks about it in Untethered Soul. Like, this is the main, with dealing with trauma, with going on this journey, with getting closer to yourself and healing. It's about letting it go and not forgetting. You don't have to forget. It's not taking away the emotions that were there. It's not taking away that trauma, but it's allowing it to pass. You felt it. You dealt with it. You understand why it was a trigger, and then you let it go. You're not going to hang on to it to keep having it get hit.
That makes a lot of sense.
I kind of rambled there.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And Chaotic had a good comment. He said, where do these rules come from? The whole don't tell the kids rule. And, that is a good one. I've always tried to be honest with my kids and everyone. Now, there has been some things that my kids have asked me that I could not tell them. And I would be like, I'll tell you when you get older. As far as me, trauma, it took me a very long time to realize and admit that I had trauma. Because I'd been so used to just stuffing stuff down inside and just letting it stay there and not thinking about it. And it got to the point where, I started dreaming about stuff and stuff that made no sense, stuff that I had actually done before. And, I had to admit to myself that I did have trauma. I think a lot of people, and I don't think it has to take it could be an accident or a bad situation or a natural disaster. I think a lot of people have trauma and don't really realize it. Something that helps me, and I know people may think, well, it's easy for you to say that because you've not been through what I've went through. That's exactly right. But if you realize that you have trauma and you want to change the way that trauma has affected you, first you're going to have to realize exactly what happened. That it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. And, if you can't get through it by yourself, there's nothing wrong with reaching out and talking to a family member, a friend, a therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. And, nothing at all wrong with that. I've talked to people, in the past, and I'm sure I will again in the future. But in order to, and this is my personal belief here, if you want to truly make yourself happy and make the world a better place, not just for you, for your family, for your friends, for your kids, for your grandkids, whoever it may be, you have to first be happy with yourself. And you have to realize that everybody makes mistakes. You're not perfect. You're not perfect. You can't linger on what happened in the past. Each day is a new day. And, just take it one day at a time. That's all I would have to say about that.
I completely agree with you. And I would like to add on to some of that.
Yes, please.
So we'll work backwards. So as far as, bad decisions in your past or any like regrets that you may have. I have a whole thing about regrets too, but bad decisions don't make you a bad person.
No.
Like in that moment you made a bad decision, but that doesn't make you a bad person. And just like, I don't have any regrets. Did I do some things that were morally questionable? Yeah, absolutely. Did I not think I was going to make it past the age of 24? 100%. Did some really stupid shit. And I've made some really bad decisions, but I don't have any regrets because in that moment in time, that's exactly what I wanted, or at least I thought that I wanted. And it brought me to where I am now. And without those experiences, I wouldn't be this person, right? So I'm grateful almost and sit in a place of an opportunity for that lesson that I didn't know about, right? Everything happens for a reason. I didn't know about that until now. But I see that how this built me. And then as far as, you know, the trauma of that you didn't do anything wrong. In regards to the flood situation, yes, like that type of accident, like catastrophe trauma. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't your fault that it poured for fucking days on end and everything flooded and there was no drainage system properly in place because there's clouds. It doesn't matter. But there is some, speaking generally on trauma, there's some trauma that you caused yourself by making those bad decisions. And then sitting with that is also being honest with yourself and getting vulnerable with yourself that, yeah, I did do some really shitty things, but that doesn't make me a shitty person. But I accept, yeah, that was a mistake. You're not perfect in every situation. And as far as, I want to address Alan's comment too, with that guys are taught to bury it, right? Grown men don't cry. You know, you don't show tears. You're not supposed to show emotion. Being vulnerable, showing emotion, that is such a sign of strength. And it is true. Society, like men are supposed to be these tough, emotionless creatures. That's not true. There's supposed to be duality in all of it. Like, you got to feel those emotions. You got to let that out, whatever way that looks like for you. And it's different for everybody. And then that goes into your practice and how your journey is going. But there's no wrong answer for healing that trauma and letting that go. And then understanding and being in control of, wow, this is hitting something. I see it hitting something, right? You become the observer of this. And then we're not going to react, right, in the way that we used to in the past. We're going to sit with it, and then we're going to respond from a different place.
Exactly. I mean, and very, very well said.
And it's fucking hard.
Oh, like, yes. Yeah.
It sounds easy.
Yes,
like, okay, here's the steps to do. Putting it into actual practice and being routine with it and consistent with it and disciplined, that's fucking hard. And if that trauma and those emotions and those events were stored with pain into your centers, then they're going to leave with pain. Definitely. And I think that's really important to remember too. Like, this isn't easy. This isn't a walk in the park.
Moving on. Question of the week responses. Can you pull some of those up and share those with us?
Oh, yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. So the question of the week was, and this was on hold on, I got to find the video because I saved it in the thing so that I could get to the comments. Okay, here we go. So the question of the week was, how would you explain your country's justice system to an extraterrestrial, assuming no language barrier? So we got some pretty interesting comments. Completely fucked without lubrication. May the odds be ever in your favor. Run. I don't know how to describe it to an adult from this country. If you got the money, you can do whatever you want. Start by calling it an injustice system. That way the rest of the story makes sense. They already know. Corrupt to the max. Feels like someone telling you to piss that is pissing down your leg and telling them it's rain. Guilty until proving innocent. Shoot to kill. If you're rich, then you can do whatever you want. The rest of us obey laws they made to keep us not rich.
I like those.
You're muted.
Let's see. Give me a second. I don't know how that happened. I hit a cord back here. Let's see.
I can't unmute you because you muted yourself.
I hit a cord back here. Sorry about that.
Oh, all right.
So, those are some good ones, though. I like those.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to provide us with a new question of the week. What?
I am going to provide us with a new question of the week. So this is something that I found, and I showed this to you at the beginning of life. So I was at Meijer, and I was looking at, I don't even remember what I was looking at, but I was over in the planner journal section, which is where I usually get lost. And I found my opinion on everything book. And it's just it's just a blank journal with questions. So I think we're just going to start randomly picking something out of here.
That sounds very good
Ooh,
to me.
should I read a couple and we can decide on one? Because some of them are good.
Sure. And then Ship Mass wants that we pick one. If you don't care, please type that out.
If there's a universal human fear that no human can escape feeling.
That is a good one.
How do people find the right balance between protecting their privacy and feeling safe in their societies? Oh. That one. Let's do that one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So the new question of the week is, what was it again?
How do people find people? Oh my gosh, I'm not even typing anywhere. How do people find the right balance between protecting their privacy and improving their typing skills?
Improving their typing skills.
This is painful. And this would frustrate me. And feeling safe in there.
That is a great question of the week.
In their societies. ETIES.
That is a great
Damn, got it. All right, here we go.
I'm going to screenshot this, so when I do the episode description and so forth and include that in, that way I've got it. The question of the week: how do people find the right balance between protecting their privacy and feeling safe in their societies? And thank you very much, Ship Mess. The TikToker of the week, we're going to have this guy again next week as a TikToker of the week because he's very special to Dirtydan. So we're going to have him this week and next week. And next week, hopefully we'll let Dirtydan just tell us a little bit about him. The TikToker of the week is Deadpool Mazar, Mazur. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But again, be sure to check him out. Once you do, you'll be able to understand why Dirtydan is so passionate about supporting this young man. So again, Deadpool Mazar is our TikToker of the week. He'll also be our TikToker of the week next week, and we'll let Dirtydan explain why next week. For those of you wanting to support Kentucky, you can do that by going to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. Don't forget to check out upcoming episodes of Reading with Rebecca, Cooking with Dirtydan, and The Shipwreck Show. You can also check out our website, heretotchewbubblegum.com. Rebecca, I'll let you read these next ones before I take back over.
Oh, I don't do this part. Damn it. Okay.
You don't have it pulled out.
Do I read the Carbon Capture Shield? Is that what
Yes. Those three right there.
CarbonCaptureShield.com, AdventuresWithPurpose.com, and the Till Valhalla Project.
Yes. I also want to thank Karl for all the voiceover work, and be sure to check out and support friends of our shows that have their own shows. I'm talking about CK and Uncle Bill over at Deadpit.com, Talk Junkie and Retro Cult with Justin Perkins, Jordan and Brad of Down on the Holler, Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle of the Spooky Family Podcast, the Mountain Mysteries Podcast with Chris Sloan. And don't forget, you can check out Snowman, Cronkite, and Large Marge over at Paranormal Trucker on YouTube. And our friend John Marshall goes live every Tuesday on, I think, Facebook and YouTube with Beyond the Paranormal Podcast. If you want to awaken more, be sure to check out the lovely Rebecca Short on TikTok and Twitch. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home. All right. Bye, Flockers.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.